Good morning, friends. Great to see you. Tuesday, the 1st of September. And that means, as we always say each year, the first day of spring. So I guess it would be appropriate for me to burst into song. You know, when it's spring again, I'll sing again. Tulips from Amsterdam. Well, I'll spare you the embarrassment of hearing me singing. But yesterday we started a 5-day reflection on the book of Philippians. And today I want us to consider the words in chapter 2 of Philippians that Paul wrote, where his circumstances are precarious, to say the least. He says, you know, I'm not sure I'm going to come out of this prison alive. I hope I will. You are praying to that effect. But he says, really, at the end of the day, if I live, I live, and if I die, I die. And then he says this, for me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Now, I want you to remember those words. For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Now, Paul was not one of these sort of heavenly minded people that all he wanted to do was go to heaven and abandon anything that he had to do on earth. No, he accepted the will of God for his life. If he was going to live, he would embrace life, live it to the full. And on the first day of spring, I say, let's live our lives. Off to my right here are whales, probably a mother and a calf, probably recently born calf. It's altogether beautiful. For us to live is Christ, and to experience the sheer goodness of God, especially when one lives in a community such as this. The goodness of God. Right at the start of Philippians, Paul says, grace and peace to you from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. What is grace? But the ongoing goodness and mercy and kindness to us people from the Lord. And on the first day of spring, the world is full of the goodness of God. For sure, it has challenges. For sure, serious challenges. But it's important for us to embrace the fact that we are alive, that we are well, that we are breathing, and that the world is beautiful. And one only has to look here in the sea next to me, a huge southern right whale, to recognize for me to live is Christ in all the fullness of his presence in the world. For me to live is Christ, and then to die is what? Gain. Gain. It's important we remember that. I do a lot of work with folk who are dying. I experienced that in my own life some years ago. And so have some folk very close to me experience what we call the pangs of death. But it's hugely important for us to remind ourselves that when we die, it is not a journey into darkness. It is not the end. For those of us who place our hope and our trust and our confidence in Jesus, to die is actually to gain something. We should consider the life to come more often. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. They think it's depressing. On the contrary, if you sit and think about the glories of heaven and the sheer light and love of being completely in the presence of God and those whom we love, death truly is a gain. And so Paul sits in prison with all the discomforts, his future uncertain in the sense of, well, I wonder if I'm going to be here, how long am I going to be here, will I get out, whatever. But he's looking at something far bigger. He says, if I'm here, it will mean fruitful service. To live is Christ. I will embrace life to its full. But perchance that I should die, believe me, I'm going from life into greater life, from this world into the next. So, first day of spring, remember Paul's words in the 2nd chapter of his letter to the Philippians. For me to live is Christ, and to die, well, it is gain. God be with you. I'll see you tomorrow morning.